Well, good morning. It's nearly afternoon. Bit of a late start today, having to drive some of the countrymen around, drop them off out in the homelands. But today I don't have any great expectations other than a really excellent walk in the bush. So we're heading down to an old road that used to be used to transport goods from the coast in through to the main community, but that track is no longer maintained. It's generally very overgrown, and it halfway down between the homelands and the community it just stops due to a creek that's washed out probably 30 years ago. Anyway, what we're hoping to get to is some springs, huge paperbark springs. It's almost like jungle that you would see on Jurassic Park. It is really cool country. There has been some big buffalo in there. We've taken pigs out of there, and you know, you'll never know. In those places, you never know what you're going to see. It's going to be a wet day. It's raining now, but I'm not going to let that stop me. And we'll just put some tape over the muzzle of the double gun, give it a good dose with some lanolin, and then we'll head in and see what we can find. But thanks for clicking on the link. I hope you enjoy it, and please feel free to leave a comment, either positive or negative. All of them help us grow as a channel. And if you like this particular sort of video, don't be scared, hit that subscribe button. There will be more coming, plus there's a stack of videos on the channel already. Some fishing, some hunting, some just doing other stuff. Righto, let's get into it. My philosophy is you look after your tools will look after you. Especially in a game where you're playing with big dangerous animals in very tight, often confined sort of spaces. Pays to keep everything as close as you can to pristine. And also it helps maintain the value. These old girls are not cheap guns to buy. She'll need a good clean up when I get home. I'll strip it completely. Strip the whole thing, pull the action out of the wood, clean up in behind, because you got that little bit of rust just in there, or that little bit of red showing through. Oh, pizza shapes. And it's raining. We don't get rain down the muzzle. And as soon as we fire it, it blows that tape off. But what it does do is stops the water from sitting down here on the cases. So as the cases sit inside, the water can come down and sit in there. And if I don't drop my muzzles far enough to let all that water wash out, so if I'm shooting on a slide uphill, these projectiles will go past that water, and because water is incompressible, you can bulge barrels, you can do all sorts of nasty things. Is that going to happen? I very much doubt it. But when you're playing with this sort of thing, and when you've got, you know, that sort of money invested, why not look after it? A little bit of preventative sticky tape. We're going to mark that one as Ute. And that is done. We won't put a photo, we don't need one. What we do need to do is work out what direction we need to head if we get bushwhacked. So what's that? 300. So if we're down there, anywhere down there, we come back, we can just set this or the compass, the silver, at 300 degrees and follow it, and we will end up on this track. And so all I'll do is I'll offset to the right, and then once I hit the track, then I just turn left and then come down here, bam, that's where the ute will be. Alrighty, that should be just about us. That way, 930 metres. This is what I call an open tetradonda forest. These stringy barks. They're a pretty cool tree. Home to heaps of critters. The indigenous out here use it for a whole pile of things. From building wanga, or like a home, a house, a structure. They use them for bark paintings, canoe. The timber is excellent for fighting sticks, for woomera, gulpul. And it's a lot easier to work with than the ironwood is. These cycads, they should be starting to generate fruit, but there's a male and a female. Happy to be corrected on that, but as far as I'm aware, there's a male and there's a female. Some will have a cone, some will have fruit. I've noticed some are fruiting elsewhere, but right now I can't see any, and that may have a lot to do with when this particular piece of country was burnt. And these other ones, I think they're a Livingstonia or a Liverstonia or a sand palm. And they have these little blue berries. The emus love them. A good way to know whether emus are in an area is when you find a puddle of water. Right beside it you'll find an emu poo. And that emu poo will have those berries in it. There's no footprints, there's no footprints. Is that, it could be an ant nest. Might be an ant mound. We'll go and have a look. I don't know what it is, but buffalo seem to love these cypress pine stands. I don't know whether it's the view that they get combined with the breeze and the shade, but you'll often find them in those big stands of cypress. You see this spot here? Whilst it hasn't been used for a while, you can see it's a little depression. You can see remnants of the poo. Beautiful shade. It's incredible to stood here habitually. Same over there. How groovy is this country? This is all sandy. It's wet sand at the moment. But it's all segmented sort of grass. Considering where I am and how far from places that other people go, I always look at these things and wonder, am I the first person to ever see that? And am I going to be the last person to ever see that? I mean, that is not a big one. But that is built by an ant that long. A tiny little ant. All of these structures, they're different sorts of ants. That nest, rounds like a cathedral. This one here, shit. Trump could employ this mob to build walls for him. They're there to catch the sun. We call those magnetic mounds because they all run in the same direction. I wouldn't navigate off them though. Well, we are nearly to the good spot, so we'll go quiet again now. Salt water. Brackish. Down there, the springs, that's where the springs come up. And over there, the springs. That's pigs rubbing, scratching. There too. Oh, I can't go that way because that water's there. Here they go. They smell me now. Got two buffalo in front of me. One's at 40 metres, one's at 45 metres. They're about to leg it as soon as I show myself. Here we go. It's not a bad bull on the right, but he's not the bull that I want. That's that one there. There's a big boy in here. Yeah, that one on the right would barely go 90. That one on the left goes probably 80. That was interesting. Very interesting. They didn't want to leave the water, that's for sure. Alright, so the good thing is they've gone in that way. We are going to go that way. Alright, so the camera, I was over there, the camera turned off due to the heat. Too hot. Anyway, one buffalo is in here, one buffalo is in there. Both young bulls, 80 or 90-ish. The big one would have been 90, the little one would have been 80. If he was lucky. That's salt water. All of that salt water. I pushed them off and they went that way, which is good. So we'll keep on going along the edge here, keeping the salt on the left, the swamp slash pandanus forest on the right, and then we'll see if we can find any pigs camped up in here. It's a gorgeous day. It's hot. It's very hot. It's top of the 30s. Very humid. Well, beautiful. Who knows? Tide is pushing up against the rainwater flow. You probably can't hear it, but you can just hear this trickling of water. There's a couple good pig tracks along here, so it's pig shit there. Holy crap. I'm sorry you missed out on that first shot. I just walked through a big spiderweb. What do you call them? Golden orb spiderweb. And I'm pulling the spiderweb off and I hear this splash, 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 and I turn around and there's that pig standing there. So we come around, safety off, boom, first barrel, camera on, boom. Did not expect that to happen. I don't think he needed that second shot, but I'm not going in there. That's a swamp hog. Oh, he's toast. Check him. Yeah. Crikey. Oh yeah, that first one smoked him. We'll get out of the croc water. Good dog. That's the first shot. He was a little bit quartered, so that should have come, should be on the skin back there, so it would have dissected heart lung. That was that second shot there, so that came in on that angle. And that right there, that'll be the projectile. It's funny. Oh, it's all broken, smashed up there. It's funny, you know, how much power that gun or those bullets have, yet what they'll slow down in. And the thing is, with the projectile, it's probably 1 inch in diameter now, and pig skin is so incredibly tough, and it just it's like trying to, I don't know, it's like trying to push a blunt object through sheeted rubber. Just can't do it. Anyway, good little hog. Let's set him up some photos. Small. He's been living in the swamps, looking at the colour of those tusks. May have played a game or two with the dog. Pretty good condition. Mind you, this time of year. And coming out of there, there's water pretty much all year around here. So it's either a dumb pig or a sick pig that doesn't have good condition. Anyway, I'll set him up, get a couple of photos, and then I'm going to cut these projectiles out, and chances are that will not be allowed on this channel, but we'll work out a way. If you want to have a look at what they look like and the damage it's done, then see what we can do. Okay, so we just flipped that pig, and so if you remember, on the other side, the projectile entered approximately there, and it's come across heart lung and exited there. So second shot, completely unnecessary. However, as explained, better to give them cheap insurance than to go crawling through that stuff. But something else I'd like to identify is another crocodile scar. This one's nearly completely healed. You can just see parts of the scab there, and also back here. So yeah, out of the 3 pigs that we've taken in the last couple of days, 2 of them have that scar. It's pretty interesting, and it's got to tell you something. It's got to tell you either one, the crocodile's not catching that many pigs, or the crocodiles take a bucket load of pigs and just a few lucky ones escape. So there's that, and this is the ear on this side. Obviously had a run-in with dogs at some point, or other pigs, but these are all healed up. Pretty cool. Scrapper. Very good condition. No ticks, no lice that I can see. Good fat. In another time and place I'd take that meat home, but where I am now, I'm way too far from the car. And you know, at the end of the day, the object is to remove as many pigs out here as we can. That's the deal. It's not about eating everything we catch. This is removing pigs out of a beautiful environment. And there's another one down. Alright, so here we are. Righto, this is that pig from before, the one you saw. This is the one with that croc wound, and the one that we took in the water while we were removing the golden orb spider web off of us. He's a nice young boar. Was never going to amount to much. Might be a big body, but he was never going to be big and hooky. Had a run-in with dogs, or maybe even fighting with another pig. This is the first pig we've seen today. It's the first pig we've heard. However, we have been following a set of tracks from up where we saw those buffalo about half hour ago. And those tracks may be his, just meandering through here. And especially as that water gets pushed up, as the tide starts pushing in and it starts displacing all of the rainwater or the overflow, and then that pushes out into this this intermediary zone between the salt and the fresh being where all those pandanus are. And so he was just splashing through there, probably munching on a few things that got pushed up with the water. Anyway, we are going to do some dissection on him, and then load up, move off, and see if we can grab a couple more. So we've still got 4 or 5 k's before we get to the end of this creek system, and then we're going to have to turn around and leg it back, because we're not running out of time, but I'd like to get back before it's too dark, because I've still got to go out to the homelands and pick up those people out there and then take them back into the community proper. I don't know if you can see that, where my shadow is. There's a dog print. There. Heading that way. Australian wild dog or the dingo, they are protected in the territory. You need a permit from Parks and Wildlife to interfere with native animals, and a genuine reason to take or to kill a dingo. We kind of like them up here, except the cattlemen, and I understand that. But out here, this is where they live, this is where they belong. They help keep the pig numbers down. They love piglets. #1 dinner. I reckon, unless we do dumb shit, we're not going to get around that other side. Because I reckon when we come down here, the salt pan will be filled with water. This is all spring. All this is spring water coming out. Wow. Very cool. Which means we might have to go back that way and then around this piggy. It smelt us, that wind. We'll see if we can catch up to him. Well, the astute will notice that everything's swapped. We are going to head all the way up the top and come around, because there is no way across there without playing with crocodiles, and that's a game that I don't think I can win. So it's only 2 k's back to the turnaround point. So we'll splash back 2 k's, then go around. We'll probably only come down another 2 k's that side. So it'll only be a 10 km. That's a dog jaw. It's a dingo. Mature but not very old. Wasn't much of a shot on that one. I can only see his head sticking up. Mind you, that's only 40 metres. About 40 metres. Hard to see, look at the colour of him. Oh yeah. Okay. I can see where that first round went now. I think you don't probably want to see this bit. Well, you probably do. But not so sure YouTube's going to like it. So what I'm going to do is record it all, and I'll probably have to blur it or cut it. Okay, those tusks should be up there. Good hog. Good size hog. Oh, hell, heavy. He's only got one nut, one testicle. Alright, so first one caught him on the tip of the snout. I think it probably caught him on the with his mouth shut. It's pushed all the way down through, so he wasn't going anywhere. That second shot was superfluous. I think, which way was he facing? That way. I think that might have been the exit. Not 100% sure. Let's flip him over and have a look. Yeah, that's the entry there. Can't be. It can't be the entry. It is the entry. Was he laying towards us, was he? Was he rolled over that way? I suppose I won't see till, well, he has to. Because if it exited out there, he had the back to us and he was laying down. Righto. Wow. That is not a head for TV. Heavy pig, you'd have to go 80 kilo. Big trotters. I reckon that is the pig that we've been following, you know. See how it's got like a big round one there and a shallow one there. We can go back and have a look if you want, but he had like one long, one short. They must rub. Oh, what are they? I don't know what they are, but I'm going to get some photos of those. And I will show some biosecurity crew. It's always, you find something weird on an animal, just take a photograph of it, take it into Biomob or CSIRO or somebody. Just get them to have a look at it. I've done it a couple times. So he has got multiple, that's a scar. See, oh, is it? It is, that's a scar right there. You can see that. That's, well, who knows, that might be a cyst underneath, just like a fatty cyst or a fatty tumour because of that scar. These are his glands here, see that thing just there? That's a gland. And you know when you smell that really strong boar smell? Yep. Alright, we'll get some photos of this and document those lumps and bumps, and then we'll get a photo which geo locks it here. So if it is a thing that we need to be concerned about, then we know exactly where it is. and we can come straight here and, or they can come straight here and investigate further. Well, the wind is untenable. We are going that way. The wind is going that way. I've just seen two critters leg it from 50 metres in front into the bush. Piggy going that way. That's not the one we shot over there. That's a different one. His feet aren't all wonky. There's the pig. There's the pig. He's looking at us. That's a good hog. Big pig. That is a very big boar for these parts, body wise. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Look at that, you're on your way home. You just got to keep your wits about you. I didn't see him at first, because I saw a bull. There was a bull just there. Bull buffalo. And he was watching. This fella was alert, but he was watching. I didn't see him. Anyway, I saw this ear. I just saw that one ear. You just got to get used to the shape of an ear. As soon as the ear turns, its colour changes, and then bam, pig. Well, that took out heart lung. I don't know how I'm going to get him out of there. He's a bloody tank. Hand winch. Windlass. Flip flop. See, I read the comments. I'm actually going to get some photos of where he lies first. Then we'll go and dissect him. But that, I'm pretty sure that bullet exited because I heard something go dook into a tree out the back. I heard it hit a tree. Got 2.5k, so I'm going to keep them for mouthfuls. I mean, we've got a heap of water here. I might have to strain them through my socks and then strain them through my undies. Yummy. Man, that is a serious tank. Typical hooks for this area. Short grind. Good girth. Short grind, and they'll pull short as well. Tell by looking at the jaw. They're going to have a bigger bump. They're going to pull better. This is where he was living. Just a series of little wallows. But my guess is, looking at this country and looking at the top side, I would suggest that there is a spring here. I'll have a look. See if we can find it. Oh yeah. The spring, the water comes from up here. Just soaks out of the soil. Over here as well. If you were to dig a trench, it'd flow. Keeps these sort of things wet quite a while. So he's got a couple of wallows here. I don't know whether there's other animals here, but he doesn't look like he's been scrapping much. Yeah, he's got a torn ear, but he doesn't look beat up, so he might have this spot all to himself. So, let's have a look at these other holes. That one over there is still pretty clear. Well, not clear, but it's not muddy. See the water going into it's pretty clear. And there's that, I don't know if you can see that. But there's two levels there. There's the clear surface level, and then there's the muddy, murky level down the bottom. I'm unsure what that is. I don't know whether it's a pH thing or just the suspension of that mud makes it heavier. Then it just sinks on the bottom. Because that mud, or that, when it's dry, I suppose you'd call it dust, it is fine. It's like talcum powder. It doesn't even hurt when it gets in your eyes. It just makes them gooey. Another little wallow. And that one looks more like the buff swallow, going by the shape of it. That's that storm coming in now. I reckon we might get wet, which I'll welcome. Okay, so that's pig number 3 for the day. Good boar. We'll pull him out here and get some photos, log him, add that to the list of, or to the spreadsheet. And I tell you what, I don't know why he's in such good nick. I mean, he's fat. We'll open him up, we'll have a look and see how much fat he's got and see where the fat's located. My guess is he's got fat everywhere. And if that's the case, then it's most likely that he knows how to pull all the good stuff out of the salt water. All the mussels, crabs, worms, all that stuff. They're pretty smart when it comes to finding a feed. They know how to do it. Right, so we just pulled this fella out of the hole, hence why I'm puffing. You can see he's got a pizzle, so he's a male, but he has no balls, no testicles, no tail. Whether that's from dogs or whether he's been dogged in the past, so we call these a barrow, like a steer in cattle. He's a barrow. It's probably why he hasn't been beat up or doesn't fight much. And that's why he's so fat, spends all his time eating, doesn't worry about the girls, doesn't worry about fighting for girls, just eats, looks after himself, good to go. Some might say he's got it right. You don't often see barrows out in the bush. I think this is the 3rd out of, oh, countless pigs. I reckon this is the 3rd barrow. There's guts on him. Just about drags on the ground. One thing I noticed dragging him out is, whilst he's heavy, he's not as heavy as he looks. You know, like those big old rangy boars with nuts, you know, and an entire male. I reckon their bones are heavier, their muscle density stronger, heavier, and so they They are heavier. Anyway, that's the world according to me. Oh, we didn't see this one. Remember we discussed these, or we had a look at these ant nests before? Magnetic mounds. If it's morning time, look on the afternoon side. If it's afternoon, look on the morning side, because that's where they'll be camped up, because it'll be nice and cool and shady. So this would be his morning spot, because west out that way was his morning spot. It's. Well, this is pig number 3 for the day. We've seen a couple of others, but this one is the most significant for me. It's a barrow, which we've probably already discussed. No balls, no testicles. It's also missing its tail. That could be from dogs, it could be from other pigs. It could have been from people catching them, cutting the nuts, letting them run. Then they grow bigger and it's got more meat. They taste pretty good too, very fat. I think he spends all his time eating, and that's about it. Just looking at him, compared to the other pigs that we've seen today, he's on a very good wicket. Most likely sorted out how to find a feed in the mangroves, and he's got this great little spot here, this wallow. It's spring fed, and he's got a whole pile of wallows for mornings and afternoons and everywhere in between. Anyway, good pig to end the day. We'll get some photos and then we'll leg it, because we've got a storm coming in, and there's a lot of lightning in that. A lot of lightning. Alright, well, this could be the end of the video. If it is the end of the video and you've made it this far, thank you very much for hanging around. Thanks for watching. If you like this sort of thing, don't be scared to hit that subscribe button, and you know, give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, and leave a comment. You know, what could we do better? What would you like to see? Thanks. Wow, look at this one. It's a ripper. Man, that's awesome. Oh dear. They're getting close.